writing, always creating, and playing music, so I'm kind of vaguely present anywhere I am. And I was reading Jess Lorry's Unspeakable Things, and which is a fantastic book. She's a fantastic writer. And she couched it in the beginning saying how it was, this is about some crimes that happened in her hometown, and she was writing this book. And it wasn't until about 4 or 5 chapters in I realized it wasn't a true story. It was fiction based on a true story. But I was like, that's a great idea. What if you had an author, who's been inspired to write crime and mystery because of a crime that happened to him when he was younger, or his place where he grew up, an unsolved mystery, and he's drawn back into that unsolved disappearance. So I have, it is a departure, but it's also, I have a 50-ish writer who returns home to his hometown of Berlin, Connecticut to rent a house from that guy over there, Rich Rice there. And he's going to teach at his alma mater, Central Connecticut State University, where I had a chance to teach, and the job fell through. And so I just envisioned, I think a lot of us who write mysteries do this. Who writes what if, So the idea was, what if I had gone back there and the job fell through, and I'm living at Rich's house, and I am inspired because there's an Amber Alert about 2 missing girls, which reminds me of the 2 missing girls from when I was a high school student, and I based them on 2 real twins. Unfortunately, one of the twins didn't want me to use her name, so I had to change the names. One of the twins was very happy, the other twin was not very happy. She said it was creepy. But that's okay.
And that's why their names were happy and unhappy.
The best part about this really is, it is kind of adorable, is my lovely wife, Justine, was very upset because the protagonist in the novel is divorced.
I did wonder about that.
Well, that's because it's fiction, but she was very, very upset and had a hard time getting past that, which is kind of adorable. So, but it doesn't really work if you bring the wife home with you, looking through this stuff. So, yeah, it's sort of a meta look. It's a true crime novel, which ruffled a few feathers because you can't really have a true crime novel. It's true crime is true and novel's fiction, but the idea was to play with trope, play with expectation, play with genre, and what's real, what's not real. So you have the author of a Porter-like series. I never mentioned Porter, but it's clearly Porter. And so all the places that are in the J. Porter books, the Olympic Diner in the Porter books, I talk about the Olympia Diner, which is the real diner. So all the places that are made up in the Porter series, I bring back to where they're inspired, where they came from, which is Berlin, Connecticut, which is why I think we're reading on Tuesday in Benicia. They called it the Citizen Kane of books based in Berlin, Connecticut, which is very nice.
Do you ever get any flack, or how do people?
People love seeing their name in print, and before I tried to use real names wherever possible. I always got permission, and it's a great marketing ploy.
Like Manafort?
Manafort. People love to see their names in print, but with research, we also have this great Google tool. One of the scariest writing stories I ever heard was from my professor, Dan Wakefield, where I was getting my master's degree down in Miami. And he told this story about researching a book in the 50s and how you used to have to go to the library and stand in a line and have an index card. You could ask one question at a time, and you'd get there and you'd ask one question, and the librarian would take it and go up to the 6th floor. It was just terrible. Now I need to know. There's a scene in the book that references. It talks about cancer and tattoos, the link between the two, and was it something I could go online and be like, oh, okay, so yeah, a tattoo can, it also show you that there's, it shows a false positive for cancer, stuff like that. It's just at our fingertips, and it's done in seconds. So, I'm going back. Yeah, I grew up. Berlin is it's where I'm from, and so that's that's emblazoned on my brain. But to do the other things, we really have just an awesome tool at our disposal that makes our life so much easier. But I agree that
you have to be careful.
Okay, wait a minute.
So what is Idiot.
I've been, and I'm hoping to write my next book very soon in Puerto Rico. My wife's Puerto Rican, and I love Puerto Rico. I think they have the best food, and we're going to go to soul food after here, so I'm probably thinking about it more than I should. But I am excited to go back to Puerto Rico to do, the research and immerse myself more. I mean, I've been there several times, but I don't think you can write. It's why my books all take place in San Francisco or LA or Minnesota or Connecticut. All these places I've been. It renders the action, more authentic. The marketing stuff, just because after a while you just feel like, geez, once again I'm taking social media asking somebody to buy my book, and you can only do it so many times, but there's only so many tools you have at your disposal. And this particular book is, more on my back than others have been. So that's probably the aspect. But it's mostly just, you just get tired of the constant, badgering.
Feeling the need to.
Well, you have to. You got to promote, and it's.
Have you bought my book yet?
Yeah.
Have you bought my book yet? Have you bought my
There's a
book yet?
great-
Oh, by the way, hi. Have you bought my book yet?
There's a John Lovett's TV show, remember The Critic, and there's a snippet that's just, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, that I frequently repost, because that's what you feel like. You feel like it's just that you're hitting them over the head a few too many times.
I feel like a carny.
I don't think I get my master's in writing and be scripts. I think books are, the stats are so depressing. It's like 1 in 4 reads a book after high school, and everybody watches TV. So yeah, part of it's the immediacy of it, and you can also, even when I'm teaching a course, it's just easier to use a TV show or movie to break down, the 3-act structure. But
And also because more of your students have seen it.
Yeah,
And have read a book.
Yeah. But certainly, Breaking Bad was, that plays pretty heavily. But I also, I'll reference, Wuthering Heights and Catcher in the Rye as much as I'll reference Memento or, any neo-noir, Pulp Fiction. I write books that I want to read. That's really that's kind of the criteria. What would I want to read? What would I want to experience? What haven't I seen? And so I have a lot of pop culture references. I'm very big into that. So they're sprinkled liberally, maybe illegally throughout.